Well, ladies and gentlemen, the calm before the storm as the Glasgow Derby is approaching. Keith here from Commander Hoops. If this is your first time coming across the channel, please like and subscribe below. It would be really appreciated. Glasgow Derby is tomorrow, 12 o'clock kickoff on Sky Sports. It is the first Glasgow Derby of the season. So to get ahead of the game, if Celtic were to win tomorrow at Ibrox, we can go 9 points clear in the table. So make it 12 points. And they're only on 3 points, three draws so far for Russell Martin's side in the league. They're calling for his head. Majority of Rangers fans. There's been a lot of controversy of Haraskin, Tavernier, players that key players for them. That's not getting a sniff. That's not even starting. They got beaten 6-0 during the week over in Bruges. And look, we have not much to say about our team in regards to European football. We were dumped out on penalties to a team that was ranked 315th over in Kazakhstan. But it's about reaction. The Celtic team want to keep this run going in the league. They want to build momentum, build a gap, you know, keep the Bears very, very quiet. Yeah, it will always be a hostile environment, but having the away fans in at the game is crucial. It brings a spice to the derby. It brings a spice, but obviously going into this game, with remaining days left in the transfer window, some Celtic fans are wondering who's going to play. Will this be Daisy Moyeda's final game as a Celtic player? Will he stay on? There's obviously talk about it could be a move for him. No official bids yet, but some Celtic fans feel that will we have Moyeda past this window? Will be a last minute bid? Will he go in January? Moyeda is a massive player for Celtic. Yes, he missed the penalty the other night, but people need to remember as well, he scored a crucial penalty to beat Rangers last December to win the League Cup at Hampden Park. And he loves scoring in this fixture. He loves being rent free in Tavernier's head. I don't know if Tavernier will play tomorrow. Obviously, Rangers have to bring in a player called Bojan Morowski that everybody's familiar with. Over 4.3 million they've signed the North Macedonian striker for. Will he feature tomorrow against Celtic? He has scored against Celtic in the past. But it's about what we do as a team, as a collective. It's about reaction. It's about bouncing back. Now, there's been enough time of grieving over that result. It's time to put the hard in, walk in on the pitch, not the training ground, on the pitch. Go to war tomorrow. Be better than Rangers in every shape or form. Defensively, more organised in the midfield, win the midfield battle, because I think over the last few games we've been absolutely sloppy in the midfield. Absolutely sloppy. And I mean, like Callum McGregor, and especially that New Year's fixture, he was absolutely brutal in the middle of the park. A player like Kyogo, we're definitely going to miss for this game. He was the big game player, but Maeda has to step up and players around them. Could we see Balak Wisha make his Celtic debut tomorrow as well? Brendan Rodgers was asked, is he fit and ready to go? And he said, yeah, he's available for selection. He's played 4 games so far this season for Royal Antwerp. Will we see Marcelo Sarachi start as well tomorrow? The Uruguayan left back. Cover Kieran Tierney. Will it be Dane Murray? Will it be Liam Scales? Will it be Austin Trusty? I think Trusty is still out, to be honest with you. So I'm going to give you my prediction on the squad for tomorrow. Do comment below if you agree with the squad. Comment below your match predictions as well. I'm a bit nervous going into this game, I'm not going to lie, because of the matters what's going off the pitch with Adamida Saga of Swansea Medical deal agreed, and then Celtic are pulling back on the deal because they're trying to get Kasper Dolberg in for Anderlecht. There's been a lot of controversy over getting a striker in. And then we were obviously looking at the Tunisian winger as well, Sebastian Tulaki of Hammarby in Sweden. And there's been talks of their director saying, no, he's not for sale. I just feel like we've left it too late, as always, to get players in. And this is what happens when you're going to buy from other clubs. They have you for ransom because they know that you're panicking. You're trying to get players in the last minute before the window closes to strengthen your squad. Will we see Yang go as well? Will Yang play tomorrow at all? I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't even consider Yang for Ibrox. I just think, yeah, he played well against Livingston last week in the league, but over than Almaty, Rangers are a better outfit than Almaty. Rangers are going to be at home. They're going to be there to make a statement tomorrow to prove that, if Russell Martin saying that he's having these honest conversations with his players. He's focused on getting this team rebuild and be here long term. Let's be honest, Rangers always have this saga going into these international breaks. I will not be surprised they'll sack him by October and November. That's my prediction, to be honest. They've done it with Gio, they've done it with managers in the past as well. So this is my starting lineup for the game tomorrow, folks. Um, this website is called FOTMob, very good website. So this is the starting lineup. At the back, I'll go Liam Scales, Carter Vickers. Surprising enough, I'm going to go right back with Srirachi. I know Srirachi is an established left back, the 27-year-old, but there's no way Brendan Rodgers is going to drop 30 for Srirachi. Now, Srirachi says he tries for big games, for big pressure games. I think with the doubts of Anthony Ralston not training yesterday, but Brendan said he's available for selection, you have the option where you could play Srirachi right back, even though he's left footed. You could play Donovan right back as well, which we've seen he come on in Kazakhstan, or you could play Ralston. I think Srirachi, why not? Why not? Take a risk. If it doesn't work out, you can rotate and you can change it around as well and bring Ralston on in the second half. Carter Vickers, I feel out straight. Carter Vickers has had some really good games at Ibrox in his career. Obviously, he scored the winner at Ibrox in Ange's first season. He needs to step up the plate. He has not been the same Cameron Carter Vickers than he was in 2023. I just think his facial expressions tells everything. Yes, he's been one of our best defenders over the last 10 years behind Virgil van Dijk, but we need players like that, leadership players. He's been had the captain's Ironman a couple of times as well, so we need him to step up tomorrow. Liam Scales, I know a few people have the jury out on Liam Scales, but Brendan's going to go with Scales for experience in these derbies. And let's go back to that game at Ibrox in January. He was absolutely one of his worst performances in the Celtic shirt. So he needs to get it together, especially in these derby games as well. Kieran Tierney will be relishing this chance to play for Celtic at Ibrox. Some really good moments Tierney has had. Some good moments at Ibrox, some really good performances in his first term at Celtic as well. Callum McGregor in that defensive midfield. It's all about him getting there instead of getting there ahead of their midfield. He needs to step up. Let's be honest, his legs are not the same as they were 3 or 4 seasons ago. He's not the most preferred defensive midfielder you could play in that. He's not a box-to-box midfielder the way he used to be. And he is slowing down. I think the other night he was actually quite poor in the game over Almaty. It just looks like he's lost that string of pace. He's more effective as an attacking midfielder, but you could go with play Bernardo in that role and put McGregor there, to be honest with you. But I think he'll go with McGregor in that defensive role to take the ball off the defence. Rio Atate has to start Atate. You could go with McCown, you could go with Ingles, you could play Negrin in that position as well as attacking. But let's be honest, Benjamin Negrin was bought as a winger, bought as maybe the Nicholas Kuhn replacement. If the board want to put in that perspective, 600k for a guy that, and then replacing a lad that we saw for 17 million, it's bonkers, absolutely bonkers. So Atate plays tomorrow. I go with Bernardo. I think Bernardo is being frozen out a lot in this season. I think a bit of freshness in that midfield. He battles quite well. He's scored against Rangers in the past as well. So I'd go with him in there. Negrin on the right, not James Forrest. James Forrest has never ever had a decent game at Ibrox. He scored for Celtic against Rangers a couple of times at Celtic Park, but not at Ibrox. I don't think I'll go for Negrin on that right hand side. We've seen what he done against Livingston. Obviously, he played in that midfield role for a majority of the game in Almaty, and then Brendan changed his tactics around and bring Negrin onto the right there. But Balikwisha, I'd start him, put him straight into the team, the 24-year-old Belgium. At the end of the day, Balikwisha, he's played high-profile games in Belgium. He's played in Champions League games. He's played in Europa League games. So, yeah, this is a different level playing in a Glasgow derby. It's going to be a hostile environment, but don't let the occasion get to you. Just play to your own game. And he's had to get in that training session with the boys. I'm sure there'll be a light training session today as well. And then Days in my eight up front. Some people might say in the comments, Yamada, Johnny Kenny. I don't even feel like Adamida will be near that squad tomorrow, to be honest, which is with the mess that's being caused by the team. I can't see Adamida being a part of that squad, to be honest, with this transfer saga going on. So Maeda has to start up front. Yes, he missed a sitter midweek against Almaty on the 85th minute, but it's time to put that into the past. It's time to have faith with Daisy Maeda. He scored 33 goals last season for Celtic. He scored in big games against Rangers as well. People need to remind ourselves of that. And Maeda is just, it just looks like he's a bit outside at the moment, but this is the game to get his confidence back. Celtic need a big reaction tomorrow. If we want to build momentum in domestic football, you got to beat your so-called closest rivals. As you're seeing, they have had a poor start with 3 draws, drawing to St. Mirren, drawing to Motherwell, like drawing to teams like that has just been mediocre stuff. But you you can't drop down a level. This is what the problem is with Celtic fans. We go into these games expecting 3 or 4 nil victories, and we get scalped. We got scalped in January. We got beaten in our own backyard against them, and we can't take them for granted. These are the games where you say, right, they're going to need a reaction. They're going to go out. That manager Martin is going to be. He knows his job is on the line, even though he's sugarcoating and saying that he's a good relationship with the board. Brendan Rodgers' tactics has been outdated in recent times. The last 3 big competitive games for Celtic, big competitive games, cup final and the 2 Champions League games, is being boring to watch. There hasn't been any urgency in the play. There hasn't been any conviction in the play. We need to go out and get a goal early, open the floodgates, get them frustrated. Don Robinson is the official tomorrow as well, just to let you know as well. It's going to be a full house. We all know what's at stake. If we win tomorrow, we can build a 9-point gap going into the international break. If we lose tomorrow, there's going to be pressure on Brendan, pressure on the squad after this disappointment in Europe. We need to move on from that. So my predictions for the game, is going to be 3-1 Celtic. I think Rangers will score tomorrow. I think Maeda needs to get in there, cut through Suter. John Suter looks absolutely pish at the moment, to be honest with you. Cut through Suter, score. I don't know if Dessers will play for them tomorrow, to be honest with you, or it's going to be Morosky. Hageman obviously was sold to Lille. So I'm going to go 3-1. I think midfield is a big battle. We get the midfield, we get a bit of energy in that midfield. Drive them with Tate and drive them with Bernardo. Even McCown comes on Ingles. We need the midfielders to be a top game tomorrow, more than ever. Tierney, we need to see more Tierney getting up that left flank and crossing the ball as well. We need to stop this tippy-tappy football at the back. It's draining the game, and by a matter of time, it's half-time, and there's not enough chances created. We don't need that. Tomorrow we go out, open the floodgates, get rid of that reaction, keep them quiet, and we laugh at Russell Martin. But 3-1 on goal, and I think they will score against us. I would just think we're a bit all over the shop defensively, communication-wise with Vickers and Scales at times looks a bit ropey. But it's a big one who plays right back tomorrow, to be honest with you. If Ralston's fit and plays, if you play Srirachi there, or if you play the likes of Donovan there as well. I think the magnitude of putting Donovan into that game, it's a lot. I'd rather put Srirachi in, even though he is a left back, I'd put him in that position. So 3-1 and going tomorrow. Do subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the predictions what you're fancying against Rangers tomorrow. Do you think will it be a stalemate, 0-0 draw after these boys playing 120 minutes of football, them getting hammered in Bruges? Will it be a 0-0 game, or will there be goals in it? Comment below and let me know.